anthem for Namibia and Sierra Leone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The teams will now walk off in single file, starting with Botswana, followed by Uganda, Namibia, then Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, the ICC would like to remind spectators that racist, homophobic, or other abusive conduct, language will not be tolerated, shall be result in ejection from the venue, the imposition of the sanction, including possible criminal prosecution. Good luck on your day. Uganda versus Botswana. Uganda won the toss. Upset to bat. Namibia versus Sierra Leone. Namibia won the toss. Upset to bat.
Has it come through?
copies.
Can we make a photocopy?
Let me ask for a photocopy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, watching us from every corner in the world. It is a very good morning here in Gaborone. We say Dumela to you people. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful tournament, the International Cricket Council Women's Under-19 2020 World Cup Africa Qualifier. It is show time, a virtual quarter-final. Botswana, the home team, playing Uganda. Uganda unbeaten thus far. Picked up a 4-wicket win against Namibia on day one. They beat Sierra Leone by 23 runs on day two. And here they are playing Botswana on the Botswana Cricket Association Cricket Over number 1, the main turf. Fast ball up front, dead. Touch ball there. Dotting away immediately. Little jiggy dance from the opening bowler of Botswana. And the action, low action. Chance to run. They run very fast. The score gets ticking. They're off the mark and right underway. Opening the bowling there for Botswana. Qualifiers. Opening the batting for Uganda. The captain Jimmy Mohammed and Proscovia Alako on strike. Yet to get the scoreboard ticking in her true form, Proscovia Alako. She'll want to make amends today. Her captain Jimia, who is already off the mark, winning the toss there and opting to bat. She's off the mark and she'll be asking the elder stateswoman in the team, Alako, to get going as well. With me in the comms box is the beautiful Florence Samanyika, top order batter for the Botswana senior women's team. Pressure is on early on. Florence, first and foremost, how was your beautiful night?
I had a beautiful night. I slept well. How about you,
Netflix. I had a Netflix night. Yeah.
Botswana looking pretty good this morning. They have a lot of energy. They know what's at cost here.
Botswana winning their first match against Sierra Leone by 1 wicket, chasing down 98 and reaching that in the penultimate over. That is Alako for you. She goes, gets her first boundary of the tournament. The dugout will be happy. Those are good signs from a lady that does play in the senior women's team, the Victoria Pearls as well.
For you.
Being unable to get the ball
She
off
goes,
the square. Gets a loose one on the leg side.
Gets her first boundary of the tournament.
Mirapelo getting off her line for the first time in the match.
That is Alako.
Losing her concentration cost her dearly today.
That is
That is the
Alako
end
for you.
of over number 1. The
She
score
goes,
is 5.
gets her first boundary of the tournament.
And coming from the generator's end is Bako. Bako Maputsana. She's actually been doing good this tournament.
Like the pronunciation of Paco. Botswana.
You'll get it right. Don't worry. You'll get it right.
Yeah, learning the ropes. The Southern African nations, the pronunciations sound like music to me, but it's all in good stride. Paco, the woman of the match, or the player of the match in that particular game, picking up a couple of wickets and having to fight some sort of asthmatic attack as she scored 44 not out to steer Sierra Leone home, Sierra Botswana home, in front of a passionate home crowd. Good things there happening on match day 1.
And it looks like the captain for Botswana, Aisha, changes the bowling and gives it to Kesero instead of Bako, saving her for later. Kesero Inakale, I hope that doesn't give you a problem. It was a bad ball to start with, but at least she's protected down at the boundary.
Kesego Inakale.
Almost there.
No worries. Botswana not winning the toss, but they are fielding with verve and skill early up front. Powerful shot.
Punches it down all the way to the boundary through the covers.
Ali up
Sarah
front.
needs to find her line, and she's not been doing that the whole of this tournament.
Powerful
As we
shot.
saw yesterday, Namibia was pushing them through
Punches
the
it
boundaries.
down all the way
3
to
to
the
4 boundaries
boundary,
with her
through the
over.
covers.
She really needs to fix her line.
I tell you, that is a short ball. Outside off stump, very harmless. You could have taken a cup of tea as well, Florence, and punched that one away to the boundary line. Once you pierce the gap on these beautiful Botswana outfields, the ball is running faster than Usain Bolt. Third shot, but better length. Was a little low and not able to be punished this time round. I'd say good comeback ball from Kesego.
But Botswana needs to be careful here. If they give Uganda an opportunity to go outside off and swing their arms, they will be punished. And another one goes out of the field next to the spectators. And that is the
Give
first
Uganda
6
an
of
opportunity
Uganda.
to go outside off and
Coming from
swing
that
their
flashing
arms.
blade
They
over.
will be punished, and another one
Sylvia
goes
Anako.
out
told you
of
she
the
was dismissed
field
for
next to the
one run in the first game against
spectators,
Namibia.
and that
She didn't get off the mark against Sierra Leone. Today she already has 14 runs.
And she is very ready to prove her A game today. She is very determined.
Mixing it up well. A little dab on the offside and off they go because the Botswana fielders are standing at the 30 yards. 30-yard mark there gives Jimia Mohammed, the captain. That's why he says, hey mate, come through for a quick one. You're fast enough. Don't want you to lose your head because the fielders will be thinking you're going to be going after every ball. Good cricket, I would say, from the two batters out there in the middle.
And we see it every time. Uganda, whenever they have a pair in the middle, there's always that one that is ready to swing her arms. And we're always having that one taking the quick singles.
And then Jimia Mohammed takes the strike and
Uganda,
glides that one,
whenever
piercing
they have a
through
pair in the middle,
the
there's always
offside.
that
The
one
cover
that is
fielder
ready to
chipped in an
swing her
effort.
arms, and
Not
you're
the
always
best of
having
efforts.
that one taking the
Kesero
quick
looking
singles.
all over the place today.
And then Jania
Same as
Mohammed.
yesterday, she can't find her line. Things are not really going well for her, and it's costing Botswana a lot. Second over done, and a whole lot of runs are on the board. Could this be a warning bell to Aisha to give the ball to somebody else coming from the generators? And because Mirapela seems to be doing really well on her side.
Across the oval here, just a stone's throw away, all a boundary rope away. Namibia batting first against Sierra Leone. They did win the toss, and they know they need to pile up the runs and then see whatever happens in this match. Then they could go top of the table as well. So there's everything to play for in what I would call virtual quarter-final matches in this group. That is a wide, first one in the match.
Uganda looking very confident after 2 secured wins in the past 2 games that they had. Little edge there. If she left it, it could have been a wide. It was way outside off.
Being overzealous, she's trusting that her hands will get to the ball. Hand-eye coordination not very good at that time.
And she goes over the top, and it's a one bounce 4. She misses it, but the umpire gives it a 6. Second 6 for Uganda. The Ugandan players are really, really going strong today.
And I tell you, that's a very good cricketing shot. That was a beautiful ball, but the batsman was up to the task, trusting her power to go over the top in the power play.
Chance of a run out, and they miss it. That was a good fielding right there from Wendy. She seems to be one of the best fielders for Botswana at this moment. And I tell you, if they got that run out chance, they could have gotten the confidence up a little bit and made a comeback. Same shot, same line, but Wendy misses it this time, and it goes all the way to the boundary.
A lot of people watching this game from Southern Africa and especially East Africa, Kenya, looking out to their sisters Uganda, Tanzania have already been doing the business and are top of the pile in the other group. We will see some of them in action later this evening. Rwanda have done their bit. Can they sneak into the semi-finals? It is a moving day today. Day 3 of the ICC Women's Under-19 Africa T20 qualifier. It's all happening in Gaborone. Gaborone is becoming the home of women's cricket in Africa. Only last September we were here for the Women's T20 World Cup qualifier. That won by Zimbabwe, but Botswana showing a lot of skill, licking boundaries early on here, the junior side. And I tell you, the problem that is happening, and you can't fault the girls, the ground is very hard. They did put the first game against Sierra Leone, saw them put their bodies on the line. I have seen them earlier this morning, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 players from the Botswana team were being attended to by Uganda's physio, Imam Tugume there. What a spirit. That's the spirit of the game. And then you would like to feel that they're wearing out. And the young girls, the intensity of these games sometimes is even bigger than a 50-over match.
You're definitely right about that. Most of these girls are playing for the first time, and it could be taking a toll on them. But you'd think that because yesterday was a rest day for all the teams, you'd think that they'd come back with a little bit of more energy. But it looks like that energy is being broken down by Uganda with those couple of boundaries in each over.
Swing and a miss.
That was a good comeback by Marapelo right there. What a way to end the over.
That is the end of over number 3. The score is 37 for no loss.
And as you can see, Aisha definitely did make the change. She brought in Paco to replace Kesero. Maybe Paco could help Botswana come back with that line and length that they probably need.
That's a weird fielding position right there, right behind the keeper.
You see that a lot in many of these young girls are fielding positions, you know. It's just to help the keeper in case she misses it.
It saves runs though.
And today it looks like the coach for Botswana did change her keeper. We've been seeing Koketso keeping the past 2 games, but today he decided to give the keeping gloves to Mercy Dipongiso today, and it is her first match keeping, so she might be a little bit of nervous there.
Chance to run. The call is to throw the ball to Dipongiso. She gets the ball. Not at the first time of asking, because the run was assured from the beginning. It was hit in a no man's land. Even the batter, Timia Muhammad, didn't know where she had played that one. He is the dangerous Alako on strike now. She already has 29 runs from 15 balls. She goes for power. There's a small misfield, but not able to run because the ball falls right behind the fielder at mid-off.
Uganda keeps the scoreboard ticking. This definitely relieves pressure on their side.
And that is a little good dab on the offside, and off they go. The calling is good. Jimia is up to the task to help her partner rotate the strike. It's not all about boundaries, even if it's in the power play. Runs on board and runs on board. You can get 6 runs every over if only you play 6 singles, and 6 runs per over is good enough.
And that is one thing about Uganda. They are very relaxed when they're batting. They don't have any pressure. A couple of boundaries, even if they haven't made an over, there's a lot of runs on the board. And she misses a catch. That would have broken the partnership for Uganda.
And that would have been a scream of a catch, because it got off the bat like a rocket.
And that is the second chance given to the pair. They missed the run out and they missed the catch again. You might say Wendy was not prepared for that one.
You can't blame, I don't want to blame Wendy Motswe too much here. It sounded like a tracer bullet off the bat. Happy to get a hand on it. She could have completed a very clinical catch there, and the dugout would have found some voice there, especially the catches. Reprieve for Guinea, and Ugandans survive.
If you look at it, Wendy did save a boundary. That ball was hit so hard it could have went for 4, but they only managed to give them a single.
That's another punch right through the gap. Alako is piercing the offside gaps, and she's running for dear life. They come for not for only 2, they complete 3 runs. The chase from the Botswana team deserves the credit. They were not running after it 1, they were running after it in 4s, and it did work, because finally the 4th person is the one that collected it and threw it back to the keeper. A run saved is a run gained. Clipped off the pads. Chance to run. Do they want the second one? For a moment, Jimia looked at her partner. The partner looked away. The not wanting to risk the suicidal second run. Given a full face of the bat, the electric outfield here does do the rest. The chasers play second fiddle in the chase. 4 runs to the total for Uganda.
Uganda is cruising through. In the first power play, they're using the advantage of only 2 allowed outside of the 30-yard. And it is working very well for them. You can see now a change has been made to bring in deep sweeper and taking out mid-off, bringing her down. Because you can see these Ugandan girls, they're very good with the drives. It's a smart move, but will it work for Botswana?
Powerfully struck this time round. There's protection. They're asking to be a second chance for a run out. No, the throw is not accurate, but I like the pressure that Botswana is putting on. They're not going down without a fight here. They're giving it their all. It is important to keep their energies up, and you can't do much in the power play.
And that was a good tactic to bring mid-off down. She managed to save 2 runs, and that is our keeper for the past 2 games, Koketso, saving those 2 runs at the boundary.
Another chance to run. There's a chance for a run out, not completed. And I tell you, that single right there brings up the 50 runs for Uganda, a milestone completed in the power play. And we still have another 7 balls in the power play. You could say Uganda are riding high. It's the cranes flying over the zebras.
And Uganda has a form of high spirit a little bit. Even if they're not knocking it down, they still have that mentality to keep the wickets, waiting for the bot balls to come, and they take advantage of that.
Hitting the gap. The bowler is pumped up. She wants the ball thrown to her end. She's fancying a chance for a run out, and rightfully so. She needs her fielders to show some more athleticism. And that is the end of over number 5. The score is 51 for no loss. Florence, Uganda is moving at 10 runs per over. We saw Namibia score 191 against Botswana. Do you reckon it's going to be that sort of day again?
It could be with the way they're going. If they don't break up that pair they have in the middle, it's going to pose a problem for Botswana.
That is the Botswana dugout. The coaches are standing up. Passed on some information to the 12th woman there. The tactics coming through that hat there will be very vital to how Botswana do bounce back in this match.
Botswana definitely needs a wicket desperately at this point. There's nothing that helps the fielding side when a new batter is coming in and she does not even know how she's going to play.
Slowing down things. The heroine from game 1 for Sierra Leone, from Botswana's win against Sierra Leone, Paco, is in the building. That's one for the future there, Paco. A third shot is punished, hit high up and above over gully point. The chase is on. The chase will be in vain because that ball was racing away these electric outfields. Coming to the fore again. If you find the gap, you get full rewards. I would love to see an IC tournament being held here for the men's teams. I imagine there will be lots and lots of runs on these beautiful facilities that Botswana Cricket Association do have.
That was a short ball there from Bako, but again a little bit of height closer to the batter, able to pick it up through point. I have to say the bowling for Botswana this morning is a little bit all over the place. They need to find their line, they need to reassure themselves that it is not over until the last ball.
They run very hard, the Ugandans, and they come through for a pair of runs. Jimiya Muhammad, the captain, young player there. I've not seen many of them in the tournament like her. She's the captain, she's the wicket keeper, and she's the opening batter for her team. Quite lots of responsibilities on her young shoulders, but she's shouldering them well.
The facilities are actually in a good condition right after the winter season. You'd think that the fielders would throw themselves down to save every ball they could. A little glide and a misfield right there from the captain of Botswana, Aisha. She has not been in her form anyhow throughout the whole tournament. A lot of misfields, giving the batters and the opposition team a few more runs on the board, and it's costing her team very dearly.
Not connected, and that is the end of the power play here. 58 for no loss. One of the better overs from Botswana.
Botswana definitely needs to do something, whether they bring in the slower bowlers to slow things down a little bit, because Uganda seems to be picking up momentum and it doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon.
And there will be a change in the commentary box after the power play here. Florence, go have a break tea. You look like you are hungry a little. Allow me to welcome in the comms box the big boy, captain of the Zebras, the Botswana men's national team, Mr. Karabo Motlanka. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
You look very fresh and clean with sporting these nice dreads. And how is the training going on for the Africa Cup that happens starting next weekend in Benoni there?
Well, we've had some very good preparations before this tournament has started, but due to sharing the facilities with the young ladies from all over the continent, we have been a bit disturbed, but we're making do with it and looking forward to that competition, certainly.
Good luck to you, Botswana, in the Africa Cup there. You'll be running into a young Ugandan side.
Yes, indeed, that will be our first matchup. What we're seeing here is the taster for what's going to happen in Benoni.
Well, the Ugandans back home are listening to you. You have a couple of mates there, Roger Mukasa, Charles Waiswa, Kenneth Waiswa, guys you did play with in the Singapore Elite League a couple of years ago before the pandemic. Chance for a catch. Who wants it? Nobody wants it because it's hitting the gap and there's some running to do from the mid-wicket there. Not taken. The spinner is slowing down things nicely. Yes. Tell us about the game. What is your perception and your notion about the first 6 overs you watched here?
Well, having seen Botswana coming up against Namibia the other day, it looks like a very similar start that Botswana have had. Struggling to keep their lines to one side, but also being punished by the batters. Batters taking advantage of the both sides of the wickets that Botswana are bowling at the moment. They will try to obviously keep that score to much less than what Namibia managed to post against them. But once again, we're seeing this young Botswana side being put under pressure by the batters.
Check it out.
Hit powerfully, is not in the gap. There is fielding, and that is the number one wicket keeper Kokeso for Team Botswana. Today she's doing fielding duties.
Well stopped on the boundary there. She got a nice bounce just before the ball got to her, allowed her to take it in her midriff, and well thrown back.
Talking about Kokeso there, allow me give a little shout out to one man who gave me an opportunity to do exactly what I'm doing. Goes by the name of Kokeso Gofoteng. He was with ICC Africa, media manager for the women's team cricket South Africa until last February. He's now working with NBA Africa. Kokeso, hola mate. Thanks for the opportunity. We're riding on here in Africa. Edge not taken. The chase is on. Will it be a pair? They are interested, and she's running very hard. Jemia Mohammed, the captain of Uganda.
Botswana in need of a wicket here to try and
Yes,
boost
a wicket,
the morale.
wicket will do, because they've worked very hard in the power play, only been let down by the short balls they've bowled, because every short ball has been meted with punishment to the boundary ropes. Seshwane must get the wild column out of her repertoire, because she's bowling very well. The flight is good.
I believe she's doing a very difficult art of leg spin. Very difficult to control the ball, but she would definitely like to get the extras out of her repertoire, as you say.
What a delivery. That's a very good comeback delivery from Seshwane.
That is the line that she'd be looking to repeat over and over again to try and put these Uganda batters under pressure, see if they can make a mistake and make them play a full shot. Good flight there from Setswane, keeping the batter honest. The Botswana will take that dot ball to finish the over.
And that's the end of over number 7. The score is 66 for no loss. Uganda were cruising at 10 per over. In the power play, it's not the same story. The slow bowlers are giving it a good trick and keeping Uganda in check.
Yes, of course, with the slower bowlers coming in and the field being spread a bit more by Botswana, we'll see the skills that will be shown by the Uganda ladies to bat through those middle overs, running hard, pushing the fielders on the boundary for twos. I think they did that very well yesterday against Sierra Leone, and they'll be looking to do the same. Katlego Mpuan there, keeping it nice and full outside off stump. Those are the areas she'd be looking to hit time and time again.
Very beautiful ball from her, if you ask me again. Good shot, good stop, good all-round cricket. These younger girls, the way they're fielding, I tell you, I'll be honest, it's not judgment day, but I tell you they're fielding better than very many senior sides that I've watched play in Africa.
She just lets that one go down the leg side. Keeper just gets a hand, stops it from going to the boundary, and a one added to that white ball.
That's a very good effort from Aisha Motawala, running from sort of third man all the way to fine leg to help Kokeso stop that one.
Katlego Mpuang will be looking to get back online after that ball down the leg. And immediately back on the mark. That's all you can ask sometimes. Even the most senior bowlers in the world bowl wides, but it's about how you come back.
Well said, sir. Not gotten off the face of the bat. Ugandan coach showing his fury and anger there that the Ugandans are not able to get 2 runs. But I tell you, that would have been a tricky second run. Attempting suicide and digging your own grave when you're still very much alive. Not the wisest of decisions there.
Whoa.
Another chance to make hay and hit that one to any part of the ground. Alako misses out.
Alako would have been licking her lips at that one. Should have been trying to hit that one over the bar. But unfortunately misses out, but still gets the extra from the white ball. Hit in the air to Aslo. Miron. No ball given by the umpire.
Alako getting a little reprieve. She was on 41 early on in the 4th over, but we are into over number 8 and she's still stuck in the 40s. I tell you, she gets a chance to swing her arms and add to the total.
Umpire just correcting the field there. Of course, fielders are not allowed to move for a free hit if the same batter is on strike. Botswana tried to steal a couple of yards there. Big swing. Gets an inside edge and they'll come through for a single.
I like the tactics that have been employed against Alako by Botswana's dugout. They've taken the pace of the ball, slowed down things, and she's finding it hard to find the middle of her willow.
Yes, I think she's done well here, Katlego Mpuang. Cut away towards point. Misfield. We're pushing hard the Uganda batters. Are they coming back for the second? It's going to be a tight one. Safe in the end. 2 runs to Uganda. Haven't seen the Ugandans early on in the tournament so far, Innocent. What would you say they'd be trying to work on going forward?
Ugandans had a chance to do either of the two. Them choosing to bat first tells you they're looking to get their batters have some valuable time out in the middle ahead of the semi-finals, which is the business end of the tournament. And this is a cutthroat event. There's only one spot to the World Cup from this Africa qualifier. 9 nations here, and only one spot will be going to Benoni and Poch in January for the World Cup to join the other teams that have already qualified. Of course, Africa having other representatives, South Africa and Zimbabwe getting their foot on the airbus to Benoni because they are test playing nations. So we have a lot of work to do, the rest of the associates. But 9 nations competing here tells you that there is a lot of potential in Africa. That beautiful shot there.
Sepensiako straight into the attack and straight to the boundary it goes. I'm sure she'll be working on correcting those full tosses, not giving the Ugandans free runs. Siako with some flight up in the air towards mid-off, falls in no man's land. I'd say that it's good areas from Siako there, good flight, tossing it up to the batter, challenging the batter. to go over the top, nearly creating a chance there. But no ball called by the umpire. We have another free hit. I think that might be an interesting case of a back foot no ball, if I'm not mistaken. Cut away to the offside, put in the sweeper on the offside under pressure, and Uganda come back for 2 again. Good running between the wickets.
And very good fielding from the outfield there. And that has been the problem for Uganda's batters against Sierra Leone. There were 6 short runs. Against Namibia there were 3. Today we've seen the first one.
Oh, well bowled. Some turn there from Tsepang. Very well bowled. Looks like the pitch is starting to grip a little bit, you know.
Sepang Siako turning it devilishly. Again the turn coming through the leading edge, helping Jimia to get a couple. Another 1-run shot. It was touch and go for the Ugandans. They've missed out on 2 runs. 2 runs in T20 cricket mean a whole lifetime. You could lose by a run.
Trust me, I know very well. Our qualifiers last year, we lost by only 3 runs to Tanzania. And I'm telling you, I spent that whole night trying to find those 3 runs.
I tell you, whichever way you look at it, whichever mathematics class you've attended, you will never find those 3 runs. Because you look at the missed fields, you look at the extras, you look at the laxity of one of your mates in the deep, and you have no one to blame. And you look at yourself and say, had I played an extra ball, I would have scored that run that would have taken us over the victory lane. But cricket is tough. Cricket is not for the faint-hearted. You've got to put your body on the line. You've got to put in extra effort and work, because you don't want to live a life of regrets as a cricketer playing the gentleman's game. Hit over the top. That is beautiful. They don't get any better. Fielder at long on, standing wider. I don't know what that fielding position is called.
The Botswana girls here in desperate need of a lift. I'm sure after the tough time that they had yesterday on the field with Namibia, they'll be a bit mentally scarred, but they need to overcome it.
And I tell you, that boundary right there, bringing up the 50 runs, 51 of 30 balls for Proskovia Alako. She had 1 run coming into this match. Now she's on 50. Another 50 in the tournament after what we saw from the Namibians the other day. Well played, Proskovia. She's surely shown that she does play for the senior team, the Victoria Pearls. She may be a baby in that side, but in this baby Victoria Pearl side, she's shown she's a senior player, and runs coming through as the team heads into the business end. Mid-wicket has a chance, a shy at the stumps.
Yes, desperate times, as you said, for Botswana here. After the experience in their last match, can they overcome it mentally? As we said, cricket is not an easy sport. The challenges are a lot more mental than physical, and they need to find that inspiration once more.
There she goes, straight to the fielder. It's bubbled. Merapello guilty for holding onto it like a hot potato. It was never going to burn her if she's taken the catch, and it hurts when you drop it. Alako gets a second chance at life.
That is
just after she crosses her 50-run mark.
That is a chance that Botswana will rue. They desperately needed that wicket of the set better Kulako. But again, it presents a challenge for them again. Can they pick themselves up and create the chance? They've had very little to go on this morning. And that definitely could have been a defining moment to maybe build some momentum back into the game. But Uganda here, from the position they're in, they'll be looking to maximize. See if they can really push the total to bat Botswana completely out of this match.
Medical break right out there in the middle. Quick attention. Looks like she's all right, but the medical assistant still having an extra words there with the umpire standing out in the middle. Langton Rusere, celebrated ICC umpire from Zimbabwe. He stood out with the big boys in the one-day internationals. He's done test match cricket as well.
Yes, it's very good to have such senior officials officiating these games, making sure that these girls get the best officiating possible that we have in Africa. Slight break in the play here, allowing everybody to take on a refreshment. I've noticed today that 9 o'clock in the morning, the sun is very hot out here in Gaborone.
It's ferocious, if you ask me. I can hardly find my sight. I'm lucky I'm past my playing days.
Proving tough work for these Botswana girls. Trying to repeat those basics. Obviously without much experience to fall back on from having been in these tough situations. But this will be a big learning curve for them.
Hit in the gap. That it will be a call for two. Hopefully there's no one run short. But look at this comedy of errors in the field from the boundary rider there, not able to stop that. Keep your eyes on the ball. So do say the coaches. She was looking at the runners in the middle, the Ugandan batters, rather than concentrating on the ball, and she finds herself short of stopping that one. 4 runs to the total. Uganda will make hay.
She'll be a bit disappointed with the work there at the boundary with Tione. Botswana need to find something.
You can't do both. You can't be giving away free runs in extras and then bowling short. You must pick a hustle, like they say.
Attempted man there. Attempted man there by Katlagompuang. I'm sure it's not something Coach Reggie would have suggested to her. She just had the idea as she was running up. Trying to find a way, some way to get back into this match.
Disparate situations, go for disparate measures.
Oh, stop there by Paco. Seemed to hit her on the ankle. Body on the line, they say. She looks to be in a bit of trouble.
Must have hurt. Let's talk a bit about women's cricket. Women's cricket in Africa, what's your take on it? With only last September, we were here. I tell you, we were just emerging out of the pandemic times. I had a chance to see you. We had a chance to talk on the phone, but I couldn't even talk to you. But you were the most vociferous supporter for that tournament, Karabo. How far and what time can tell a very good fairy tale story? What you saw then last September when the senior women were playing here and what you're seeing now, what are the big talking points you have right there?
To be honest, I believe the most impressive thing about women's cricket on the continent is actually the level. Seeing as it might have been something that was on the back burner for a very long time. But it seems like we have quickly tried to catch up, and I think worldwide the standard of women's cricket has really come up. It has gained its own set of fans. We have seen the big names in women's cricket really bringing out young ladies and inspiring them to say that this game can also be done by the ladies.
And for this to be the first ever qualifier for the Under-19 Women's World Cup, has it come a little too late? Or you think the timing is perfect?
Well, I believe it's never too late. Yes, we could have probably done with it some time ago, seeing as their male counterparts have had an Under-19 World Cup going for some time. But an opportunity now for these young ladies to take part in this, especially in the T20 format, which is the growing format in the world at the moment, to then hone their skills to specifically play that format from a young age on a world stage or continental stage as we are here, will really help the standard of the game and the growth of women's cricket all around.
And then you as a coach, not really as a coach, but I say many of the senior players now, especially the men's team players here in Botswana, I've seen them chip in to help the girls have a little chit chat. How do you feel about the under-19s especially?
I feel that we have to understand that the exposure to the game hasn't been great. So obviously, coming out of COVID times as well, it's been a big challenge here, especially in Botswana, because sport in schools was stopped for a very long time. So it's been very difficult to get into the school network to try and develop the players at a young age.
Chance to run two. Hopefully there's no one shot this time around. Yes, the Ghanaians make ground.
But as we know, I think it's always better for developing cricketers from the youngest age possible. And that's maybe something in Botswana we can look at, is try and catch them very early on, so that by the time they come to these qualifiers, they have had enough of the match experience that is needed.
Hit in the gap. That is racing away to the boundary ropes.
Very nice on drive. Very nice on drive there. Subtle batters out there in the middle, picking the gaps at will. Uganda keep it rolling.
And that is the end of over number 10. Oh, we still have a delivery in the over. No, it's 10 overs done and dusted. And guess what the score is? 100 for no loss. The extras, 13 to total, have helped Uganda claw back to get to the 10 runs per over. 13 extras, that's fine in the match. If you remove those 13, the score would have been 87, and 87 definitely looks better than 100.
Yes, it's looking ominous for Botswana here. After chasing the big total in the 190s against Namibia, Uganda must have been licking their lips the last couple of days, saying we can't wait to face that attack. And it looks like they've dreamt about it enough to make it reality.
Chance to push for more runs. Feel that took her time. did the wisest of things. Pick up the ball first time. Don't be caught watching the runners.
Sapangsiako here. We're looking to create a chance for Botswana. Just to try and slow down this Ugandan onslaught.
Hit high up and above. There will be protection from the boundary rider in at the deep cover region. 1 run. Good cricket.
Yes, as we say, these middle overs are a crucial part of the game. And Uganda will really be looking to maximize. They're running hard, listening to their coaches. He asked for awareness. Stumping appeal. Not out given by the umpire at square leg.
The Ugandan coaches getting vocal there. They'll love to see their captain play smart cricket. Asking her not to swing wildly, but to look at the ball and line it up very well if she wants to go for that big hit. Not an easy shot to play the inside out.
One of the toughest shots in the game. Strong onto the leg side, into the deep. Uganda batsman running hard again, but good work there by Priscilla at deep mid wicket. Keeping it down to 1.
Get 1 run there.
Oh, inside edge there, just misses the leg stump. Sapansiako, I think she has actually done well here. She seems to be flighting the ball, getting some turn, asking a few more questions of the Uganda batters.
That's the trick, Karabo. Slow it down but be accurate. You'll get them into error.
Oh, and commentators curse there. She bowls a big wide.
The wides have helped Uganda settle because after a couple of dot balls have been bowled, you've seen them getting gifted with wides.
Oh, Lako there trying to use her feet. Just gets that ball wrapping her on the pad. And they keep rolling on, Uganda.
And that is the end of over number 11. The score is 104 for 1. How many more runs can Uganda get in the last 9 overs with still 10 wickets in hand? Do you think they will surpass the 190 set by Namibia the other day?
To be honest, it's looking very ominous for Botswana, yeah. If they'd learned their lessons from the other day, I would say yes, but it seems there's a repetition of what is happening and they might even be chasing a bigger score today.
I hope not so. Priscilla Isaac into the attack from the golf club end. They run very hard. Priscilla Isaac had a chance to collect that one and get a shy at the wickets. She didn't collect that. Jamia looking like she's low on energy reserves. She's not finding the middle of the bat. She's going for power without control. There's no precision there. Alako goes big. Does she get the maximum she desires? She gets 4 runs. 4 runs to the total. Alako looking very energetic.
Yeah, she'll be thinking big here. She settled in well. Obviously received some help from the Botswana bowlers and fielders. But she'll be really looking to capitalize and build that confidence. Spending time in the middle, hitting the middle of the bat, gaining confidence for the bigger games to come for Uganda.
And you very well know that she did get a reprieve when she was on 51. She's now on 66 from 39. She hits that one in the gap on the left side of the fielder. There's a call for no ball. Is it so? No, it's not. The umpires were communicating on how many balls left. Jimian not able to tuck that one off the square.
This could come back there from Priscilla after being hit for 4 runs. Cut away, running towards the 3rd man boundary. Big chase here by Aisha. Manages to just pull it in. And Uganda have come back for 2. That brings the end of the 12th over. 112 for no loss on the board for Uganda. And joining me in the comm box, reprieving Mr. Ndaula, is local journalist Leboa Muroen, who's doing her first commentary gig for the tournament. Good morning, LB.
Good morning. It's been a tough one for BW, hard to watch as a local, but a good game for Uganda. Really good with their first order batters still up there and ticking those runs over.
Mirapelo Piase coming back into the attack to bowl her last over. She's gone for 33 so far in her 3 overs. And I'm sure she'll be trying to tighten it up and bring that economy rate down. First ball is short and wide, cut away towards the sweeper. Oh, well fielded on the boundary there.
Very well done.
Very well done by Wendy Mutri. Fantastic piece of fielding. Hopefully that can inspire a bit more energy from these Botswana girls. Played down the ground for a single. And Uganda just ticking over here, LB.
Yeah, Ugandan coach is showing some hunger from the dugout, asking the girls to push for a little bit more always. Doesn't want anyone to rest on their laurels.
More extras here for Botswana. 4 byes to Uganda. That'll be disappointing for the bowler. She's running in, bowled a good ball outside off stump, and he just evades the keeper and goes for 4 byes.
And Praskovia having one of those days because her last 2 matches haven't been the best, coming out no runs at all. Today, everything she's touching is turning into a run and giving Uganda an opportunity to put more runs on that scoreboard.
Yes, as they say, form is only temporary, and the class will always come through. Full toss somewhere away on the leg side, no ball given by the umpire. Fielder just misses the ball, allowing the Uganda batters to come through for 2 runs. Interesting signals there from the umpire. We have a no ball and we have a short run. Uganda have been guilty of a few short runs this morning, and as Mr. Ndaula said, something that they've done in the previous games as well. Very eager to come back for their 2 runs and just missing out on tipping the bat inside the crease. Two balls to go here in the 13th over with Uganda going at just under 10s. Looking to pile on the pressure on this Botswana side. Oh, edge past the keeper.
And they did good cleaning it up, avoiding yet another misfield.
Yes, good clean up there from the captain, Aisha Motorala. Just helping out the keeper there, that edge just evaded. Apple taking her time there, just sorting out her feet. Driven through the offside, past the cover fielder. Long off comes around, just has a slight fumble.
But enough to make it just a 1. Botswana do really need something.
And at the end of the 13th over here, Uganda rolling along at 123 for no loss. Big partnership here to start off things for Uganda. I'm sure it's something that the coaches would have spoken of, trying to get those partnerships. And a big partnership, 123, I believe, is the biggest we've seen in the tournament so far. I must say I've been quite impressed with the way Uganda have gone about their batting. I watched them playing against Sierra Leone yesterday, and I like their basic approach. Get through the offside, just a hand on it there by the field like it's a wet point. They come through for 1 again. I've been impressed by how they've had their approach to the game. They do their basics very well. They run quite well between the wickets, putting pressure on the fielders, and generally playing each ball on its merit. Doing well, rotating strike, showing good skills here, the Uganda batters. Slightly awkward fall there for the keeper for Botswana. Everybody just checking if he's okay.
Just slightly lost her bearings.
Yeah, I think
she seems okay.
I think she was tripped over and maybe hit her head on the hard concrete mat that we have there. Just asking the medics to just come have a look at her. I think it's been a fantastic initiative from the International Cricket Council to be giving young women of this age, their platform to play on the world stage and really give them that exposure early on, opportunities that haven't been there before.
And preparing them for a future where this is how women's cricket gets developed. You start them young, like you said earlier, with, this is how you start them, and now they will have that experience, especially players like here in Botswana. You were saying earlier how there hasn't been school sports. This is probably the first big major tournament that they've played since they started playing cricket or development, and that's how you build the future of women's cricket. Hopefully one day Botswana will get to a Women's World Cup and we'll look at these young ladies and speak of how they started right here.
Very true. You can only hope that it is up to them to see how much they can put in so they can get that out.
He is back, Mercy Dipongiso.
Played over the long off region. Slight fumble by the fielder. Trying to push out the Ugandans, but she does well to recover and keep it down to 1. No ball given again by the umpire. Very strange field set there by Botswana. They have a fielder just off of center on the leg side behind the bowler. We have a wide for the free hit. Therefore, the next delivery will be a free hit again. With the set clock on strike, she'll be looking to go very big. Big hit. Oh, just evades that fielder that I was just talking about. And they managed to get through for a couple again.
1-run shot again. It was like 4 1-run shots.
Another 1-run shot there from Uganda. As we've seen, it is a problem that we've seen throughout the innings and even in previous games. Opening up her arms now, Kulako Praskovia. Pushing the fielders again. Manages to come back for 2. This time the 2 stands, no short run. Those are the basics that get drilled into these young ladies. Slide your bat. Swung away on the leg side. And another boundary to Praskovia. To Praskovi, who's rolling along. Praskovia, who's rolling along well. She's now on 80 runs, 20 short of what would be an amazing 100. End of 14, Uganda 136 for no loss. Where's the hope for Botswana? Where's the day? When's the day coming?
13 overs and they just cannot break this partnership.
And out of all the things that are coming out of the Ugandan dugout, to be honest, my favorite comment from the coach is enjoy it. Because in this beautiful game, you have difficult days. But if you do not find the enjoyment in it, those days can be very tough and very long.
Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy a 136 partnership?
Up in the air, over the long on region. Is it going for the maximum? It is.
It is the max. That's a 6. Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot there by Praskovia. Hitting it all the way over the long on boundary for 6. Fantastic power shown. Moving along. 86 now. Loud shouts, just enjoy, keep going. Coach willing her on. High in the air towards the long fielder. Evades the fielder, 1 bounce for. Another chance missed there by Botswana. Probably the second reprieve that they've given her.
They are getting punished for not taking their opportunities, Botswana. It looked like it was hers, Koketso. Just
wondering if we're going to get a case of the nervous 90s now from Praskovia. So it'll be a big moment for her country too.
Enjoy, don't get tired, first don't give up, enjoy.
High in the air again over the bowler's head.
Keep going, two.
Long on fielder comes around. 2 more runs to the Uganda total.
Don't give up, Prosser, keep going. Enjoy your shots, enjoy.
Quick single there. Brings up the 150 for Uganda. 150 partnership as well for these two. Fantastic going. This is what you want to see as a batting unit. And these two have gone about it with expert execution. And a dot ball there to finish the 15th over with Uganda 150 for no loss. Still going at exactly 10 runs per over. Tough times for Botswana. Enjoying the music here at the Gaborone Cricket Ovals. It is a Monday, but we do hope that we get a little bit of trickle in of the crowd as the day goes. Priscilla is like to continue from the generator end, golf course end. Oh, and finally a wicket for Botswana. And unfortunately for Uganda, Prosgovia misses out on 100. 93 of 54 balls. Unfortunately, that is the end. Having played so fantastically, getting Uganda into this fantastic position that they're in, commanding position that they're in, just misses out on what would have been a fantastic 100, the first 100 that would have been for this tournament. But well played regardless.
Comes off with 3 sixes, 12 fours. It's not a bad day at all.
She'll have her head held high. And now that brings Melissa Ariokot to the crease for Uganda at number 3. I'm sure she's been licking her lips, watching the action from the dugout. And now she gets her opportunity. Breakthrough for Botswana might just inspire them a little bit to try and get this scoring rate of Uganda down. But Uganda now have the freedom of knowing that they have wickets in hand and can go guns blazing. Taking guard here, Melissa Ariokot.
Only 15 years old. Incredible talent. Can't wait to see her in action. See how she does against.
Plays it into the offside. Happy to get off strike and give the set batter the strike to face. Yeah, having read up on her a little bit, one of her favorite cricketers is A.B. de Villiers, who's a famous finisher. So maybe she's come to play a de Villiers role at the end here. You might see some 360 stuff. I'm sure Uganda from this position will be looking to keep up that rate of 10 runs per over, trying to really push and maximize on the opportunities they've had, try to get that score over 200. Quick single by the Ugandans. As we have seen throughout, as a pattern throughout their matches, they're very keen to put pressure on the fielders, those quick singles. So mix up here, going towards the bowler's end, and it will be a run out. Horrible mix up there for Uganda. And just a bit of confusion about who's out here. But it looks like it's the set Jamia Mohammed, who unfortunately has to make her way back to the dugout. And unfortunately, I was just praising the running of the Ugandans. But those quick singles unfortunately leading to the demise of Jamia. Two quick wickets here for Botswana. Might inspire them a little bit to try and find that energy to restrict this total of Uganda's.
And that's what a little chink in the armor can do.
Yes, there's an opportunity here for Botswana. Two new batters at the crease. Ones who haven't settled. And maybe now they can take advantage and put the fielders in a little bit closer. Try and force now the Ugandans to play a few more shots and get through this Ugandan batting lineup. Not a great start there by Priscilla Isaac. No ball as well. I think probably no ball given for the double bounce, if I'm not mistaken. All fielded there at mid-on by Mirapelo Piase. Just helping out Priscilla there, trying to restrict these Ugandans. Asumina Kurut about to face her first delivery. Punch to the offside. Mirov comes around, tries to do a little bit of fancy footwork there. It doesn't work. Uganda able to comfortably come through for two. Knowing Coach Reggie there in the dugout, he'll be fuming. He'll be telling them this is not football. If you want to play football, you left the stadium behind. End of the 16th here. Uganda still rolling along at 158 for two. Two quick wickets have put a bit of brakes on things, but I'm sure they'll still be very happy with the position they find themselves in. Huichone Setswane coming into the attack from this pond end. She had bowled her first over for 8 runs, and maybe with the difficult skill of leg spin, she'll be happy if she can go at that rate, as it is lower than the rate that the Ugandans are going at the moment. Swung into the leg side towards the deep square leg. Fielder does well there to keep it down to 1.
Run fast, eh? In the gap. Let's run fast, eh? Keep for 200 runs. Keep for 200.
Sometimes I think on the other side of the coin, even though we had such a big opening partnership, might not be such a bad thing for Uganda middle order batters also to go out there and have a hit, spend some time in the middle. They could need the whole batting lineup come the big pressure games of this tour. Umpire Rankton Rusere there, spreading out his arms. Another wide delivery. Oh, fantastic delivery there from Huitione. That's exactly where you'd love it to be for every delivery. Just on a length outside off stump.
Wait for the ball, Asminaj. Wait for the ball. It will come, eh?
Soft dismissal. Another wicket for Botswana. 1 brings 2, brings 3. Happy with her work there. Huitione Setswane. And a tame end for Asumi Nakurut.
Never settled. And the slow bowling.
Yes, indeed. The slow bowling proving the demise of her. Botswana have managed over the last couple of overs to put the brakes on Uganda here.
2 overs, 3 wickets, not bad. I'm sure Coach Reggie would have loved this to happen much sooner.
Yes, after the demise of Melissa Riekot, to the crease comes Sandra Ochoa. Yes, indeed, Coach Reggie would have loved these opportunities to have come earlier. Might be seeing a different scoreline, but Uganda still in the ascendancy here. Now to see if their middle orders are big hitters and they can take advantage of this start that they've had. Trying to continue. Oh, lovely delivery there. Again in that off-stump channel. Seems to have found a range now with her second over. Oh, half stop there at cover. Tsepansiako doing well there to get a hand on it. Could have flown through to the boundary had she not. Good commitment. And after 17 overs, Uganda will be looking at these last 18 balls to see if they can really put Botswana back under the pump. 162 for 3. And changing the com box. Mr. Ndawula to return.
basic Sunday. Super basic Sunday. Enjoy. High back left. Wait. Short. Do. Go. Come on, guys. Same to you, Malisa. Enjoy.
Botswana finally coming back to the feet, removing a few wickets and defeating a few partnerships here from Uganda. It looks like the few wickets gave Botswana a little bit of confidence. Katlego has been doing quite well for this tournament. By far, she's got her line and length. And the Ugandan batsman seems to be struggling with it.
Enjoy, Malisa. Enjoy.
Uganda might be looking at a score of 200 by the end of this innings. They're pushing for every run they can get. Malisa seems to be struggling. I am telling you, Botswana has
Found some rhythm, huh?
Yeah, they have. They're getting back on their feet. Those wickets really helped them a little bit. And if only they did that earlier, maybe the score wouldn't have been cruising as it did. Chance of a run out. That is the first direct hit for the day for Botswana. If they had those direct hits, they'd be having a lot of wickets.
Yeah, we were just saying how Coach Reggie probably would have loved for some of these wickets to have fallen earlier. They've now been able to decrease their fielding errors. Not enough, but just enough. Not too much, but just enough.
Definitely just enough. They could be at 120 something if those wickets kept falling before the first half of the innings. But I tell you, Katlego and Khuitswane, they are a good opening, I think, second change
Partnership in bowling.
Definitely. Slowing things down a little bit.
Khuitswane has been a very key player for Botswana in that bowling department.
She's been playing a crucial part, helping her teammates get their energies and hopes up.
And that 17th over was absolutely brilliant for her.
It definitely was. The celebration when she got the cotton bowled was definitely something to watch. Oh, that was a beautiful delivery right there. Even the keeper felt it. She wanted to get something off the batsman, but unfortunately she's keeping her foot in.
Getting some encouragement from her teammates. They're finding their confidence, Botswana.
Didn't judge the ball quite well. They had extra cover. They only managed to give them a single with the help of Koketso at the boundary there. Uganda has a lot of wickets at hand. They really want to swing hard. They've got nothing to lose at this point. But they are struggling though. This pair seems to be struggling.
Go, go. Like that, Sandra, like that. Two.
Good technique there by Papa. If you look at it though, I was wondering if they were going to surpass the score Namibia put on the board when they were playing against Botswana, 197.
They looked on for it until those two big wickets fell. That partnership was disrupted. But they're keeping those runs ticking over Uganda.
And you know, you can see with the change of the Ugandan lineup, usually around this time, Patricia Timong would definitely be in getting those quick singles. But with the number of runs on the board, the Ugandan team seems to want to hit everything now. And although the Uganda might be quick, they missed a short run there.
Umpire calling.
Miscommunication there, but they do not get a run out. I have to tell you, the fielders at the boundary are working extra time for Botswana.
It was a good recovery from Uganda. That's how they lost previous wicket, Jamia. That miscommunication, but they managed to clean it up before anything went too dire. And like you said, those fielders are working hard.
They really are. And you could see the miscommunication caused a little bit of an argument in the center there before she head down to join her teammates.
They must have a conversation. We can't afford those mistakes. Because as we've previously said, they are preparing for the latter stages of the competition, hopefully. You want to make sure that a lot of your batters are getting experience, and it's good experience, preparing for tougher opposition in future.
Bako returning into the bowling lineup. She hasn't been finding her line lately, but she hopes to do though in the last over. You see that Aisha is giving the last over to one of her strongest teammates. The ball finds Wendy at the boundary with a misfield, and Uganda manages to take a double on that one. Melissa really looking to hit hard. If they don't watch those backups, Uganda can actually steal a single from there.
A single, yeah.
Could it be on? She misses a catch. And it heads straight to the boundary. That could have been one more wicket to end the innings.
Sandra Achawo will be happy to get a 4.
Bako doesn't seem so happy with that drop catch. The ball was headed straight to the fielder. Could have just stood her ground, found her balance, and caught that ball.
Another one.
That was a brilliant shot.
She's ending this over strong as the innings comes towards its end. That's how you want your batters to approach the ball.
And you can definitely see from the looks of it, they're really wanting to reach that score of 200. But you know, the balls are not letting them. Balls left in the over, making it impossible for them. But they're really hitting everything they can, and they managed to steal a single from a misfield from the bowler.
Clinical and hungry are Uganda. They want everything. They take opportunity of every misfield, every drop ball. It's impressive to watch.
You'd think that they'd be relaxed after winning 2 games, but they are hungry and they're striving. And the Botswana fielder just seems to let the ball run past her, and they manage to squeeze 2 runs to end the over. It's going to be a very, very hard and steep climb for Botswana. I don't know what the coach must be thinking at this point.
He must be thinking, I've got a lot of hard work ahead of me.
You know, it's very, very, very painful to let a team score 115 above on you. But with the way things are, the young, they're learning. These are the ropes that they have to go through, the pressure they have to withstand in order to grow as a team. But you know, we have a lot of scores here on the board.
Right.
Praskovia giving us 93 runs from 55 balls with a strike rate of 169.09. I tell you, that is one of the best
performances we will see in this tournament over this week.
It looks like she's not done. She's really, really striving. Her partner Jimia only managed 35 from 42. That miscommunication from that run out that got her out. It's really, really painful. She looked like she had a lot more to give.
Ario caught getting 19 runs from 19 balls, 100%. Come on.
I have to tell you, that runner ball is pretty clean. You know.
Yeah. And then we have Asumin Akurut. She ends with 2 runs from 3 balls.
You know, the bowling figures for Botswana are not looking quite impressive. You can see economies, the highest being 16 and the lowest being 5.3 from Rwanda. You know, she did quite well and she's doing quite well so far. I have to tell you, Kisero only bowling 1 over and conceding 16.
She was an expensive bowler for Botswana.
And she was in the first power play that allowed Uganda to strive.
Really?
You know, she really hasn't found her ball. The no balls, the balls above the waist, giving Uganda enough room to sweep her and pull her.
But we do have to give credit to Uganda for that partnership between Praskovia and Mohammed. It was just clinically keeping those balls, those runs coming, keeping those runs coming, one run after the other, and taking advantage of their opportunities. That's the thing that Uganda have done best, and Botswana are going to have to be inspired by that performance to put on their own great one.
You know, yeah, and they have to learn a lot from it. You don't see a lot of cricket here in the southern region, but I know it's different from the northern sides. They're closer to each other. They can visit each other anytime they want. You know, and I'm sure Praskovia, she might be happy with the numbers she has, but I'm sure a century would have been nice.
She will be dreaming of that 100 when
she could have been the
first
to get a century in this tournament. It's really going to drain her a little bit, but she's happy. She's happy with the runs, I have to say.
What advice would you be giving Coach Reggie? What can he do now in terms of his batting?
You know,
to prepare for some kind of fight back.
You know, I said this yesterday, and I think I'm going to say it again. With the score this high, you got to bring out your best in the beginning. You got to let them take advantage of that power play. Only 2 fielders allowed outside. You got to make sure that she charges and at least gets halfway before the 12th over to at least give a little bit of hope and chance for Botswana. You got to give in one of that person that runs quick and that other one that runs over the boundary. That's the only advice that I have for Reggie, but it seems to be a little bit of a problem because Pako, one of the best players from Botswana, she seems to have a breathing problem. When things get heated up and there are too many runs that they take in and over, she seems to have a little problem with that.
Opening partnership looks to be Huitone Setswane together with Merapelo Paise.
And Khizana did really, really well, and I'm sure
as a bowler today, can she save Botswana in the batting?
She needs to, Uganda showing them that you don't need to lose wickets. That way you get too comfortable and you show them what you're made of. And that marks the end of the 9th game here at Botswana Cricket Association under 19 qualifiers for Botswana versus Uganda. 181, 182 needed to win. It is going to be a very, very painful a process for Botswana to get there in 20 overs. 120 balls, but 182 runs needed. We will be back 5-10 minutes. I think that is what the umpire has given. Botswana has to show us what they got. See you in a bit. And welcome back to the second innings of our game against Botswana and Uganda. Joining me back is Karabo Matlanka, captain for the senior men's. He'll be leaving on the 12th to South Africa. I'm sure nothing beats watching a bit of cricket before going to play it yourself.
Yeah, very true. And our first opponents will be Uganda. So we'll be in tough competition with our East African brothers, locking horns in Benoni.
You know, and if Uganda does manage to get it today, I'm sure you can take revenge for your young ones, eh? Take revenge for the little ones.
You know what, I won't speak on what hasn't happened. Maybe Uganda might be the ones who need to take revenge. Okay. Facing the first ball here for Botswana is Huitione Setswane. With K. Amuge running in. First ball, big appeal, and it's a wicket. Stump to stump is the tactic there from Uganda, and it bears fruit with the first ball as Setswane just takes a swipe across the line. And umpire raises the finger. Bad start for Botswana.
A hard knock to Rwanda must be painful. A golden duck to begin with. But Katlego goes in hoping to wipe the tears from her teammate coming out.
Yeah, interesting tactic from Botswana today. We see Paco has opened the innings. They've shifted her from a middle order position, probably to try and put some impetus at the top of the order for Botswana. But things not quite going according to plan as they lose a wicket in the first ball.
And I did say that before the end of the first innings, that the coach might be looking at bringing Paco in to head over the top and get a few boundaries per over. And that is one thing with Amuge. Stump to stump, line to line. Where the batsman seems to be struggling, that is exactly where she'll put it. And she will not change that line.
Yes, hopefully for Botswana, new batter to the crease, Katlego Mpuang, will be aware of that tactic and keeping it tight on her stumps. Good energy in the field here from the Ugandans. Big outswing here from Amuge. She really got it hooping here. She'll present a challenge to these young Botswana batters.
And you can see Jimia has a slip there for that outswing in case they get a nick.
Yes, very much a standard field here for Uganda. A slip in place, fine leg, third man back.
And there's the outswing we were talking about, just that it's a little bit out of line.
Yes, she'll be looking to try and repeat that first ball that did for Huitione Setswane. Probably didn't expect the swing. Looked to be trying to hit the ball leg side, but just got done by the outswing there, trapping her in front of the stumps. Oh, another one goes. The outswing is working here for Amuge. Another Botswana batter looking to play the original line, but getting beaten by the swing. Stump to stump again from the Ugandans. A tactic that is bearing great fruit. 2 wickets in this over.
And another one bites the dust for Botswana. Like I said, it's going to be hard for Botswana to make a comeback. With 2 of the top orders lost, it's really, really going to be hard for Botswana. And the keeper for Botswana comes in at number 4, I wonder if they had a little chat before she came out.
Yes, very important that these batters communicate as to what's happening out there. There's good skills being shown here by Amuge. Getting the ball to hoop around corners, beating these Botswana batters with outswing as they keep playing down the wrong line. Oh, beautiful delivery again. This is good skills here being shown from Amuge. Just testing those Botswana batters on their front foot. Looking to get them playing early on. And maybe the Uganda captain, Jamia, might just think about putting a second slip in.
Definitely, as you can see, Mercy Dipongiso here doesn't know what she's dealing with. But we have to see, but you can see with her, she's got her bat slightly opened. And it could work disadvantageously for her with that slip in hand.
Yes, interesting stance here from Mercy Dipongiso. Trying to counter this swing that we're seeing from Amuge. This is the perfect start for Uganda. Apart from the wide that she had bowled, she's been right on the mark.
Botswana stressed with 2 wickets lost in just the first over.
That is the end of the over. And only one on the board for Botswana with 2 wickets down. Nothing off the bat yet. Situation is looking a bit dire.
Kevin could have taken that maiden wicket over, but that wide ruined it totally for her. She doesn't look too stressed about it though.
Looking to replicate her opening partner's form from the pond end. We have Melissa Ariokot. She'll be looking to continue the good work that was done on the other end.
Bako facing her first ball of the innings, hoping to rescue Botswana.
His first ball just sent down big there. Yes, speaking of Bako, we saw her do very well in the Sierra Leone game, playing that middle order holder, seeing the team home to the end. And interesting that Botswana have decided to put her up the order today. Probably to try and get ahead of the game rather than chase it.
You're definitely right about that. And you know, if you can look at it, Uganda was taking those singles with the balls coming in at mid-off and mid-on, but Botswana seems a little bit hesitant on that.
Yes, it's something that we saw as a feature of the Ugandan batting. Very happy to put pressure on the fielders. Flicked away over square leg. Valiant effort by the fielder there, and Botswana get their first runs off the bat. 4 runs to Bako, who punishes a ball that was delivered down her leg side.
A little hook to that. It is definitely what the coach might be having in mind. Bako has the power. She has her position, the stronghold, looking to hit over the top if she gets the chance.
Yes, it's something that we have seen from Botswana in this tournament. They haven't really been able to make use of the power play, and it's something that they probably looked at and are trying to change.
And you can see from the stance there that Bako has, she's ready to hit. She's very cautious too because they have lost 2 wickets already.
Yes, very important wicket for Botswana now. Losing Bako, I'm sure, would drop the heads in the dressing room. And she has a big role to play if Botswana are going to get close. Pulled away towards mid-wicket. Chases on for the fielder. And a call of no. Bako not interested in taking the second run there.
It's clear that she knows exactly what is at stake here if she does not keep her wicket.
And of course, having looked at Botswana's time on the field, the Ugandans, they'll be looking to do a much better job of it. Not giving Botswana any giveaways, any freebies, trying to make them work for every single run. Messi here facing her first delivery from this end. Up in the air and a soft dismissal. Tried to pull that one on the leg side. Didn't quite get into position for that pull shot. And the ball ends up looping back to the bowler. Botswana lose their third.
It was a wrong choice, a wrong selection of a shot there. The ball was definitely on the offside. Could have punched it down through covers or a point there.
A tough start for the host here, losing 3 wickets in the first couple of overs. This is a long way back now. I'm sure the coach Reggie in the dugout will be trying to encourage the ladies to at least spend time in the middle, enjoy batting out there despite the pressure that they're under, and try and see if they can see through the 20 overs.
Mirapela comes in as the 5th batsman.
Good channel outside of stump.
It's quite the order here. You'd see Mirapela opening with Huizana, but today her and Bako seemed to have swapped the positions.
And at the end of the second over, they're trying to find themselves floundering a little bit at 7 for 3.
The run rate is way below par if they are looking to fight this through.
Oh, bowled around her legs. Bako just goes across to the offside, trying to take advantage of a vacant leg side and finds herself losing her bails. Deep trouble here for Botswana. And Ugandans on fire.
An important wicket for Botswana here. The ball was short. The ball was there to be hit. Just a little bit of a problem in her footwork. Moved way too much to the off, and it costed her wicket. I have to tell you, Kevin is very happy. So is Jimia, as well as the coach for Uganda. Losing or getting early wickets for Uganda could have been the strategy from the get-go.
Yes, indeed. Amuge, 7 deliveries into a spell and already 3 wickets in.
One of the best bowling performances by far.
Yes, she's shown good skill. Again, I believe a Botswana better there was done by the swing coming back into the stumps. Ooh. Good skills here. Sepang Siako being put into the pit of fire here. Fire being thrown at Botswana here by Uganda. Big appeal with her first delivery. Not out, says the umpire. But I'm sure Amuge will be back.
She's keeping the line that has worked for her already with the last two wickets that she got.
Yes, testing the batsmen here, Amuge. Not giving them a breather, not giving them anything free. Looks to be in good rhythm. Coming from the top end there.
Uganda is in top form. They're not losing rhythm. They're not losing their posture. They are giving it their all towards every ball that is bowled.
Oh, little fish outside the off stump there, following the swing, Trying to get a little bit of bat on that. A lot of danger in that stroke with the slip in.
Definitely, definitely.
I'm sure this is a tough time here for these Botswana players, having chased a big total the other day against Namibia, staring down the barrel of another big total today against Uganda. Mentally, must be a big challenge for these girls to try and get themselves up. But that's what they will learn as they go through their gears in this game of cricket. These are tough days, and cricket has a lot of tough days.
I wonder what is going through Tsapang's head right now.
Big appeal to finish the over. And another great over here from Mamuge, showing good form. And Botswana, wicket made into a 7 for 4.
The bowling partnership here is very, very incredible.
Yes, it's been a very impressive opening start here from the Ugandan opening bowlers. Mamuge there showing good skills with the outswing, bringing trouble to the Botswana batters, making it very difficult for them to find their scoring options. Top areas there. Top areas again from these Ugandans. They look like they're right on it, Flo.
Botswana very, very under a lot of pressure here. You can see they're not even attempting to put at least those singles, get the pressure off, get the runs moving.
Again, top areas, keeping a good channel outside off stump there. She's asking a little bit of a different question to her opening bowler on the other side. Amuge seems to be more trying to attack the stumps. And Ariakot here, happy to hit her channels, hit 4th, 5th stump there. Again, looking like a repeat of the last couple of deliveries, just hitting her channels, happy to stay out there.
A little bit of pace to the balls today. You can see that Botswana is definitely struggling with that. If it was a slower delivery, maybe just slightly, maybe Botswana could be doing a better job than what they're doing right now.
Yes, looking at Marapolo Piase's stance there, she looks to be standing on about off stump. So I feel like some of these deliveries, they're slightly wider, maybe about 6th stump. And if she had taken a different guard, she would have the room then to take advantage of the slight width that is being offered.
The trigger movement she has there finally gives them a little single. I tell you, that trigger movement was definitely necessary. Just manages to chip it off to the leg side. It's not something you see every day in an under-19 player. Something you progressively and repeatedly learn as you grow.
And again, outside the off stump. And these Botswana batters seem to be struggling with that delivery outside the off. We've seen from Uganda certainly today and Namibia the other day. A little bit of width on the offside and they were crashing it through the covers.
Definitely.
Well, that brings the end of the 5th over. Botswana struggling to get off here. 8 for 4.
Uganda managing to hit half a century before the power play was even done. And you can see now that Botswana is struggling and the power play is left with just an over to get completed. I don't know if Uganda will be looking to open up the field a little bit, or will they keep it the same and the pressure as well.
Oh, bold again. Fantastic spell from Abuge continues. She picks up her fourth with only one run scored off the bat. She's on fire. Botswana lose their fifth. She's getting it to hoop around corners, isn't she, Flo?
She definitely is. And you were right about that combination. Melissa only just hit in the deck, and Kevin getting those wickets. That is a strong combination, if you ask me. Pressure from both ends, regardless.
Yes, we're seeing, as I said, two different tactics from the bowlers here, and it's working for them. Ariakot happy to just leave that ball outside off stump and hit a channel. And Amuge here being the more attacking bowler, targeting the stumps of the Botswana.
The captain herself comes in. See if there's a little message that comes from the coach. We could definitely see with the movements by the batters.
Yes, the captain here. Aisha ready to try and help her team out, take command, try and put an end to this onslaught here by Amuge.
A hard swing there from the captain, but she slightly misses it. Eye and hand coordination definitely shows a little bit of aggressiveness from her.
Yes, Aisha Muturala here maybe coming in with a different tactic to what we've seen from her teammates. We've seen her teammates prod at those deliveries outside of stump, but she's decided, I'm not having any of that. Beautiful line and length here from Amuge. This is really wonderful to watch here. Hitting great areas, getting lovely movement on the ball. Fantastic skills.
The Botswana batters seem to be doing a little fishing for the ball instead of waiting for it for the right moment. A lot of opportunities here that they're missing because of the pressure that Uganda is giving them.
Oh, that just misses the off stump. That looked to just shape away from Aisha. Hit the deck. Just nip back just slightly. It's tough batting out there. I must say this is quite good to watch. The level of skill being shown here, the level of consistency. Can only bode well for this game.
And at this point you'd be wondering, is the ball coming to the bat or is the bat going to the ball?
And that finishes the third over for Amuge with fantastic figures. 4 wickets and only 1 run scored. Fantastic.
Uganda is definitely happy and is definitely lively, not complaining about the runs that are on the board.
It'll be interesting to see this over if Malaysia Ariakwat might take on the tactic of Amuge and get closer to the stumps.
You can see also from the first delivery what she just said might actually be happening. It was a little bit closer than her previous deliveries.
Yeah, seeing as her teammate has gotten success going stump to stump, maybe it might be a tactic that she'd like to employ as well.
They could be looking to wrap this up and finish it nicely.
And there we go. She's gone at the wickets. And Tsepan gets an inside edge and they manage to scamper through for a single. Those good lines. And I believe, from what we've seen from the first 2 balls, she might have had a think about it and say, I want some wickets too. Let me go with those stumps.
Botswana not really keeping Uganda on their feet here. You can see the fielding hasn't even changed a little bit. Not even a slightest movement here. She goes a little wide. Could be a flick of the wrist at that delivery. But I tell you, Jimia is not worried at all.
Yes, Uganda captain will be happy with the position they find themselves in at the moment. Uganda in complete control.
As you can see, she's still moving further and further from that attacking first two deliveries that she gave. Could she be looking to go back to her fourth and fifth stump?
Maybe she's just dragging the batsman outside that off stump, only to surprise the batter with a straighter one. Just trying to drag Aisha there outside her off stump, and might surprise her with one that comes back in at the stumps. Well played there from Aisha, giving her a nice straight bat. She has seen most of her teammates get bowled, and she's probably decided, not me.
Not today. Botswana is definitely off to a very slow start. I wonder if they're going to be able to redeem themselves. The power play is done. I don't think there'll be any changes or any movements, but Uganda not threatened by anything here.
Yes, at the end of the power play, Botswana find themselves 10 for 5. Very bleak situation here for the host. Obviously would have been looking for a reaction to what happened to them the other day against Namibia, but it seems to have really broken their spirit.
Definitely, especially with the loss of Paco's wicket there. I think that it drained a little bit from their side.
Looking for the quick single. Mix
A
up.
miscommunication there
But she manages to get back on the bowler's end.
Melissa there throwing the ball very poorly and very slowly. That could have been a run-out chance.
Yes, indeed, chance missed, and I'm sure Uganda coach will be a little bit upset. Having played so well today, you'd want them to keep their standards up, because that situation might come up in a crunch match later on in the tournament and might be the difference. They'd go again for the single, but this time they're able to comfortably get through.
And as you can see, Tapang is not also afraid of those balls a little bit outside. You can also see with her as well, she's got her bat turned a little bit. One into nick, ones and twos in between slip and a point there. But Jimmy has got Kevin protected for that with her third man.
And the change in the com box says LB joins me. And give a bit of a break to Flo for the next few overs.
I'm sure Botswana are needing a break themselves. Now, Karabo, you've been playing for a long time. I wonder what goes on in your head under these circumstances, and what's the best thing to do. 10 runs, 5 wickets gone. What should these girls be doing?
I think at the moment, very difficult. So they have probably not found themselves in this situation too many times. And take on the instructions of the coach. I'm sure Coach Reggie will be asking one thing of them. Just bat your 20 overs. Bat your 20 overs, because that's one of the basics of the game, is use all your allotted overs. And try and build from there. Try and learn how to spend time in the middle. Face these Ugandan bowlers. For the batters that are left in the dugout, face these Ugandan bowlers and get that experience under your belt.
Well said. It's going to take a lot of mental strength.
Yes, indeed, and it is mental strength that they'll need throughout their careers. So there's no better day to start than now. This has been a fire spell here from Amuge, and it will be the first time maybe they've seen a ball swing that much. They've seen somebody be as consistent as that. Ooh, that one goes through the legs as Aisha tries to pan it away on the leg side. It could have been a fiver there for Amuge, unfortunately, but she finishes with a wonderful spell. 4 wickets, 2 runs. Fantastic.
And she's still disappointed, holding her head as she comes off. That's how much she wants to win. That's how much she wants every single wicket.
Yes, it's not every day that you get a chance to get a fiver in a T20. I'm sure she'll be happy with her work today, but wishes she would have just had that one to give her that 5. After 7 overs, we've seen Botswana 11 for 5. Uganda right on top, not giving them a breather, not giving them anything for free. Looking a good outfit here. Melissa Ariakot looking to finish off her spell here. Probably trying to nick one in, try to get closer to the figures of her opening bowling partner. Towards point, quick single, tight run, and it's a run out at the bowler's end. Very well done there from the fielders. Wasn't a comfortable pick up there for the bowler. Did well to contort her body into the position of getting the bails off the stumps. Fantastic work there from Uganda. Having missed one run out chance, they don't let it go again.
They are impressive. I wonder, Karabo, what is the difference? What is it that Botswana's not doing in terms of playing experience, match time, that you think Uganda's gotten right?
Maybe the structures in Uganda are a little bit different for junior women cricket. As we know, our Botswana ladies have had very little exposure. They've had very little structured leagues and such, so they're very much lacking in match time. From what I can see from watching these Uganda ladies, they're a little bit further along.
And there's the value of having young national team players, senior players, getting their experience early.
Yes, some of these Uganda ladies would have played for the national team, the senior team of the women. And that experience can come through when you go back again and play with your age mates. Koketsoko Tsotse, new batter for Botswana at the non-striker's end. And Ariakot happy to keep running in. Sure, she'll want a wicket of her own now to finish off her spell. This is a bleak situation here for the Botswana team. Scoreboard very similar to what we saw in the first game on the first day for Mozambique as well. Aisha Muturwala, the captain, not leaving the ship to go down, standing tall, steadfast at the crease, ready to face out this fire from the Ugandans. And that brings the end of the 8th over. Score still 11-5. So it's a wonderful opening partnership in terms of bowling for the Ugandans. Just in the same way earlier today we saw the two Ugandan openers putting on a big partnership of 150 plus. It seems like the opening combinations both on the batting and the bowling side is really working for them.
It truly has. Botswana left with so much to do.
And I'm sure at this point, coming from the Uganda coaches, they'll be asking their team to try and keep their standards up. Don't let the scoreboard dictate your energy levels. Just keep your energy levels up. Keep your standards up for the remainder of this innings. Don't let your standards drop and let yourselves down on the field from here just because you're in a commanding position. I'm sure he'll be asking his young team here to keep the pressure on Botswana.
We've said it once, we've said it again. It is important that they get the best out of every single ball because there are more matches to come. And you have to be prepared for the tough opposition and practice keeping that concentration from the start of the match way up until the very last over.
Lona Nyate with her first delivery from the generator end, right on the mark. As Koketsoko Tutse faces her first delivery. Big sweep shot, looking to take advantage of the slightly leg side line, but misses out there.
Botswana captain Aisha just itching for a run.
Yeah, she's shown a little bit of intent. She's coming to the crease. She's trying to probably push the score along. Just try and put some pressure back on the Ugandans. Solidly behind it, Koketsoko Kotsotse. Looking a bit more determined than the previous batters to make sure those stumps are well defended. Solid defense again. I'm sure looking at these two Botswana batters now, they look kind of content to just sort of stop the flow of wickets. Doesn't seem like they have too many ideas of getting runs on the board at the moment. And as I say, that swung onto the leg side.
Commentators, curse, blessing, you tell me.
Yeah, maybe she's had enough of patting it back to the bowler now. She's had her eye in. She's seen enough. End of the 9th, Botswana still in a very difficult position at 12 for 6. Uganda bouncing.
The two batters are just going to have to keep getting ball to bat, and that is going to build their confidence. Each ball is a confidence building opportunity, and at some point, as we just saw, you'll swing and maybe you'll get something.
And the lady of the day, having had 93 runs earlier, Lako Proskovia coming into the attack from that pond end. If we see any kind of form with the ball like she had with the bat, this could be over very quickly.
As a Botswana, I hope not.
Yeah, tough watching this for Botswana fans. Tossed up, gets some turn, finds the inside edge of the batter. Coach Utse there would be mindful of some turn in this pitch that Tsepang Siako found a little bit earlier today. Oh, very poor cricket there from Botswana as they don't take the single. Ball goes all the way out to the outfield.
These girls need to find the bravery to make the run.
Yes, these are the things that Coach Reggie Nohonde will be looking at. And when you're under pressure, sometimes thinking can be unclear. Good consistent lines here from Proskovia. Again, challenging these Botswana batters to come forward, defend their stumps. Whoa, enough of the patting, Coach Utse has said. Looks like a habit was managed to see from her. Tap, tap, and then she has enough of that.
Getting herself ready for the swing, I guess. It's a good approach. It's just not giving her the runs that she needs, chasing 181.
Yes, maybe her approach needs a little bit of work. She's trying to drag that one from outside the off stump into the leg side. Could be well off just trying to hit it straight back over the bowler.
And it could give her teammate confidence to also get hit to ball.
Yep. Oh, and it's another wicket down for Botswana. Another swipe across the line. And I believe
Fall of the 7th wicket.
Fall of the 7th wicket, and a long stay at the crease there of the captain for Botswana. She has faced an 18-ball duck. Tried to stop the flow of wickets, but eventually they find the way through to her stumps as well. Despite her resolute defending, she eventually gives in to what her teammates were doing before and swiping right across it. 7 down for Botswana, Uganda in complete control. Botswana very much in danger of having the lowest score of the tournament so far. We saw Mozambique bowled out for 19 the other day, and if Botswana are not careful, they might just break that record. Wendy Multri, next Botswana batter to try and stop this ball from hitting the wickets. So played into the leg side. Single there to get Multri off the mark. A lot of chat here on the field from the Uganda ladies. Obviously the spirits are up.
Credit to them, it has been a dominant performance. This is the energy you want from a team that's winning. I wonder, Karabo, how do you, as a player, when that wicket falls, how do you keep the confidence? How do you keep playing with the fervor and keep trying to hit the ball, keep trying to get those runs ticking over? What is it is there a mantra you chant?
I think at some point when you're in these dire situations, you want to an element of personal pride comes into it. and you want to still show your best. But that's only if you have the character for it. And at the end of the 11th over, Botswana still trotting along, 14 for 7. Uganda not giving them an inch. Proskovia here to continue from the generator end, from the pond end. Happy to loop it up, keep it outside of stump and try and get turn. I'm joined back in the com box by Mr. Ndaula Ino.
Yes, Mr. Karabo Motlanka.
What are you making of this game so far?
Hey, this is one-way traffic, bro.
It's hit into the vacant leg side, picked up by the long on fielder, thrown back in, and Botswana just make it back for 2 runs. They're very, very grateful 2 runs.
They still have energies to run. Good signs there from Botswana. Uganda thinking they're into the tail end as they would like to get done with this and go have a rest. It's 37 degrees here in Habarone. It's been that sort of innings. Uganda stifling the runs flow. You feel a little sorry for Botswana because they're not up to the challenge. 1 boundary thus far in the innings, but lots of lessons to learn. The Ugandans have put on a bowling show where they're not keeping it short. It's full and straight. If you want to muscle them, you've got to hit it straight out of the park over the bowler's head.
Yes, indeed. The areas that we've seen the Ugandans bowl have asked the Botswana batters to play with a straight bat, and it's something that we have seen they have failed to do. Seeing most of them with their bail sent flying.
That's the end of another over there.
Yes, 12 gone and 16 for 7. What did you make of Muge's fantastic opening spell from the top end there?
You feel that Amuge came through running in at the batters up front. They knew they had work to do up front because Botswana know how to get quick runs, especially in the power play. Amuge swing the ball.
Beautiful.
Natural swing for her there. And she goes through her bowling strides in full flow. When she's in full throttle, she's hard to tackle, hard to play.
Yes, and as I was saying earlier, the Botswana batters seem to be playing the original line. And then we just get beaten by the swing, making them look like they're playing across the line. Sometimes when you haven't faced something, you find a challenge in knowing how to deal with it.
Amuge finishing with 4 wickets for 2 runs and 2 maidens in a 4-over spell. Those figures, dreamland.
Yes, I'm sure when she woke up this morning, she wouldn't have dreamt of it going any better than that. I saw her just being a little bit disappointed that she had missed out on her 5er on her last delivery.
And I tell you, had she picked the 5er, she would have wrestled the man of match award. The player of match award would have gone to her and not Alako, who got 93. She falls short of a milestone in cricket. We know 5 wickets. Swinging across the line there. She's safe because that ball pitched right outside of stump. Never in trouble. She's looking to up the ante of scoring there. Hit
Yes.
powerfully. The score is 1.
Yes, she's come into the crease here. We've seen Kotsutse trying to put a little bit of impetus into this Botswana innings. She's not looking to just tap. She's looking to see if she can get away with hitting a boundary or two. We've seen some very good intent from us in Siska.
Short, powerfully struck, that had the word "for" written all over it. Welcome boundary for Botswana there.
Yes, a very welcome boundary for Botswana. Full toss, put away on the leg side. I'm sure Wendy Muchu will take a bit of confidence from that. And that brings Botswana past 19, which was the lowest score of the tournament so far, which made me a bit nervous there, you know.
The nervous teens. We saw the nervous 90s when Alako was batting, and now we're looking at the nervous 19s, but well, they're past it. Won't be the lowest score in the tournament. Tanzania run amok, bowling bombshells in that game.
Ooh. Swipe across the line again. Kotute really trying to pepper that leg side. Maybe she'd be better served if she was looking to go a little bit straighter. She might get a few more through for runs.
What would be the notes or the tactics that Coach Regi is trying to implement here?
To be honest, I believe at this point you'd just like to see some fight from his team. In situations like this, you just want to see some character. You don't want to see lying down, because as you say in sport, you meet a lot of tough situations and you need to have an inbuilt character of fighting, no matter how bad it gets. You just want to see that character and that fight in your team.
Talking about character, Kokeso has shown that she's played out 22 deliveries. She's got only 2 runs, showing that I can hold my bat. I'm not a rabbit with a bat in hand under the headlights. Alako brought into the attack to break the partnership. She's not been able to do that.
Yes, and having been in this situation myself, you never want to give the fielding team the pleasure of fielding 20 overs for them, and then you only come and field 15 or bat 15 when your turn comes around. So maybe they're just trying to keep the Ugandans out there in the sun at this point.
And they've done that very well. Back at home.
Slow to start there from the non-strikers end, but throw goes into the non-strikers end and it's a safe single. And at the end of the 14th, Uganda have the throat on Botswana's necks. 27 for 4.
27 for 4. You feel that Uganda will be victors and they will be in the semi-finals as group leaders, unless a miracle of marginal proportions does happen, but divine intervention doesn't come so often in such situations.
Required is at 26. Yes, with the required rate at 26 runs per over, it'll take a miracle, to be honest.
More than a miracle. Unfortunately, it's the true state of affairs here.
Yes, looks like the Botswana batters at this point just ready to hold their ground. Make sure they put Uganda through those paces at least of fielding the 20 overs.
Swing across the line that came off her hips. The height was not favorable for an LBW shout. The Ugandans attempted and withdrew from the attempt to lure the umpire into any decision making there. Botswana, Kokeso I am proud of her. She's built a wall of attrition. She's giving away nothing and she's getting nothing. That's the unfortunate bit. She wants to make sure that Uganda do feel every pinch of the 36th.
Yes, Mutri now happy to take advantage of whatever runs she can take out there. She's looked quite positive since coming in. Koketso Kotsutse happy to just stay there. Ooh, that one nearly rolling back onto the stumps. Change of approach there from Kotsutse. Looking to take advantage of that huge gap between long on and the deep square leg. I'm sure Uganda tempting her to look for that gap. Uganda getting through the overs quite quickly here. With the 15 overs gone, 26 for 7, Botswana's innings.
26 for 7. Required rate is into the 30s.
Yes, with 150 odd runs still to go, you know. Which God do you pray to?
I'm a staunch Catholic. I run to the church every time I feel someone is man hunting or witch hunting me. Whichever you look at it, faith is faith. And there's only one God, so we all pray to one God. That's how I look at things. Good learning curve here. And you know, this 2020 match takes a lot away from the youngsters. I felt the game against Sierra Leone, Botswana wore their hearts on their sleeves. They put their bodies on the line. They picked that victory to give the tournament a very, very good flying start. Not being able to pick up another victory thus far.
Yes, very true. Thinking back to that first day, Botswana would have been very happy with the win that they had over Sierra Leone. I believe that was the best game of the tournament thus far, the closest finish that we've had. And looking at the way they celebrated, they really wanted that win. And I'm happy for these young girls who are experiencing this for the first time. That is also, on top of these tough moments, that is also a moment that will help build them for the future.
Coach Regi, I will see him there. Looks unfazed. Looks like his girls are taking some of the KPIs, because at 5 for 4 wickets, looked like the game would be done and dusted as a contest in less than 8 overs. But for Botswana to be still batting at this particular stage shows you that he's told them, go dig deep, stick it out there, show these Ugandans we're here to play, we know how to play this game. Don't just go and fall all over the place, all apart, without any fight.
Yes, and knowing Reggie is a hard taskmaster, he would have been begging and pleading for his team to show some fight, show some resilience. Don't just be a walkover. And from what we're seeing so far, Botswana have taken on that instruction and at least trying to keep Uganda at bay until the 20 overs.
Another 4 overs left in this match. Uganda turn to another slow bowler. Slowing down things here. Well, it's not the slow bowler. It is Immaculate Nandera She's been opening the bowling for Uganda. Told to take a rest today. The ball given to the pupil, primary 7 pupil, Malisa Ariakot. Ariakot did her bit, picked up a wicket or two there. But Nandera, watch this action from the left-hander. Natural swing, full flow, super talent. I call them these ones magic lefts.
Yes, very steady left arm action there. There's always something different about seeing it done with the left hand there. It's just the same as, you know, us left-hand batsmen are a special breed too.
And you like a fellow commentator Innocent Dawla is a left-handers too.
Left-handers club.
Yeah, welcome. We welcome Imagine Nandera to the left-handers club. Look at that swing. I tell you, everything for her seems nice and easy. Looks like she was born playing cricket. Not the case, but talent is abound there.
Yes, nice and smooth action. Getting that ball to land on about middle and off and taking it away from the right-hander right across. Maybe captain might think about the slip just in case.
String away for the first time in the over. Nandera gives the baby zebras there an extra run. They'll move closer to another 30 runs there. They move to 29. Baby Victoria Pearls feel like they've done their bit. They want to be off the park already. In the middle.
Good areas there.
Swing and a miss.
Top areas there from Nandera. Good skills being shown. I've been very impressed with the Ugandan bowling. Obviously they've been helped by some ordinary shots from the Botswana batters. But I think generally you can see what they've been working on, what plans they've been working on. And top of off is what they're hitting. Top of off is what they're hitting. And interesting to know that Amuge earlier seemed to be attacking the stumps a lot more than her opening partner on the other side. And she's the one who got the wickets. It was good to see them bowling in tandem. One bowling a certain area, the other challenging the batters differently. Partnerships.
You bowl in partnerships, you bat in partnerships.
Indeed.
Cricket, you go out there individually, you bowl alone your spell, you bat alone your spell, but you play in partnerships. And that is the end of over number 17. We'll be changing the comms box. It will not be a girls' show to wrap up the innings here, but to be a journalist and a steady top order batter, Florence Amanyika, to wrap things up here. How are you, Florence? How are you finding the Tuesday in Habarone?
Oh, it's very hot today. I think this is the hottest we felt.
I am not good with water, but I can tell you I've done 4 liters already today. I wish it was something else.
I think this heat might make us drink the required per day.
Well, the required per day is 3 liters, 6 glasses, but if I am doing already 4, I envisage the evening is going to be longer. Annette Anume comes into the attack, given a chance to roll over her arm late in the innings here. With this game done and dusted as a contest. Swung across the line heavily. Good fielding. They won't take the second because they are happy with one.
And right now you can see a little bit of runs, just a little, because of those slower bowlers. And if Uganda had done this earlier, maybe Botswana would have scored a little bit more than what they're doing right now.
Particularly impressed with Wendy and Kokeso. They've taken the coach's advice, Regi, made it clear to them, sending them out in the middle, telling them, hold fort. See that Wendy, good shot from Wendy there, over the infielder, the boundary rider right onto it, assuming Akrut pounces and throws it back to the keeper, good fielding. But for me, Wendy, right there, she reaches the double digits. She's got 10 runs, top scoring in this inning thus far. 10 runs from just 17 balls. But Kokeso, what a player. She's got 8 from 40. Holding fort has been redefined by Wendy and Kokeso.
Yes, definitely. These girls seem to have a lot of power. If you give them anything short, they happen to give you a very hard time as they take it to the boundary. And that is the area of expertise, the pull shots, trying to score as much as they could before the end of the innings.
And that is the end of the 18th over bowled by Annette Anume. The score is 33-7. Uganda have strangled, stifled, and made Botswana suffocate in the run chase. You know, sometimes they say when you're strangling someone, don't remove one hand and start punching. You're going to let them breathe. Exactly what Uganda have done. But there is 2 overs to play, and there is resources in the Botswana dugout. 3 wickets in hand. They will not be bowled out if they keep playing like this. But here is the Immaculate Nandera,
the lefty of the team. Everybody has been having a hard time facing Immaculate because of the left. Everybody's used to coming right arm over, so little change there just tightens the screw for most teams. But Namibia also seems to have a left.
And look at how she's playing. Okay, so solid. Giving it a full face, unperturbed, unfazed, unmoved by what's happening all around her, showing her coach, please take me up the order. I can do the opener's job.
And they haven't been showing us much, the openers.
And I like that the fact that she notices this is down the leg and she tries to whip it with a lot of energy and like cannot connect, because any connection on that would have been racing right under our noses for a boundary.
Anything down there, Botswana seems to want to push as much as they can. It's up to Uganda to wrap this up, because Botswana seems to be really struggling with getting anything off the bat. In the first innings, Uganda around this time, the runs that Botswana have on the board after 18 overs, Uganda usually had them about 3 overs. So you keep wondering, the strike rate is almost at 50. Sorry, the run rate that is required is at 50. And only a few deliveries left.
Uganda had 33 in 3 overs.
Going at 11 per over.
Thanks to Alako's flashing blade, it caught fire early on in the innings. She hit a 6, 3 sixes like in the first 4 overs. It was her day to groove, and she had a pep in her step as she found rhythm early on. Coming into this match, Alaka didn't score any runs. She had 1 run in the game against Namibia. She was caught behind for 0 against Slaldion, and today she erupts. Helps enough style with fashion for 93 of 55.
And it could have given her a wide smile if she managed to just cross over that century.
I was watching her cross here. She looked very, very tired and worn out.
Definitely.
as she walked off. Uganda's liaison officer, one of the guys who plays for Botswana, Dimps, goes by the name Dimps, rushing to the bar to buy her a Coca-Cola.
Giving her the little energy that she has lost in the middle.
Good gesture from the liaison officer from Botswana there.
Immaculate goes a little bit wide off the mark.
Little frustration there from Nandera. She wants to a wicket, to her column. She wants to end this in her over. She's not getting any of that because Kokeso is on 9 from 47. And she's still right there, working very hard. Kokeso, steady, standard, solid, full face of the bat, just like what the coaches tell us. And that is the end of the 19th over. 36 for 7. Have Uganda missed the trick here? They have strangled and strangled, but someone is still breathing.
And that is actually very frustrating for a fielding team. When you think that you have it and you want to wrap it up very quickly, they will hold out as much as they could and they'll make you end it until it's the last ball. They wanted to wrap it up as the sun is scorching today.
Searing heat conditions out here in Habarone. Perfect for cricket because cricket is not an indoor sport. Last over coming up. First ball done and dusted. No run made.
Botswana seems to have given up already. I mean, that was a single there they could have taken. The fielder was coming from the middle of a 30 on the boundary. But they just kept still there, watching the game and watching the ball go into the fielder's hands as if they're having a fielding practice. A misfield there from mid-off gives Botswana a single.
There's a little chant going on.
Proskovia.
Alako, the coaches give her some lip service, telling her you're being watched by 45 million Ugandans. Show your best. Don't let the ball go through you even if you've won already. And trust Proskovia to smile back.
Kokezo has been hitting those balls to deep mid-wicket there. But Sandra Chao says, you can only take a single from me, but not a double. I will not let that happen, not under my watch. By the looks of it, Uganda has secured their third win. 3 wins out of 3 games. They are definitely happy and they're looking proud to wear the colors that is as yellow as the sun, representing our country very well.
Finally, there's a wicket on the last ball of the match. 38 for 8 is how it ends. An emphatic victory for the Ugandans. Wendy Musiu finally stamped on 11 of 21. Uganda winning enormous, magnanimous, massive, scintillating, thrilling 143-run victory. Whichever you want to call it, what would you call such a victory?
I would call it a walk through the park for Uganda. They seemed to be struggling yesterday with a slow start, but managing to get 107 to kill Sierra Leone and win their second match. And today they seemed to did that. They came in aggressive from the get-go, hitting a lot of boundaries, 4s and 6s all over the place. Botswana also misfielding those, giving them a lot of runs as well. I have to say, Botswana is disappointed with the performance as the home and as the host of this tournament. A lot of fans are very disappointed. But we have a brilliant bowling figures from the Ugandan team. Kevin Amuge, the one with the best, and when I say the best, I mean the best bowling figures by far in this tournament. She completed her 4 overs with a maiden wicket, 2 of them actually, and only conceding 2 runs. And she manages to get herself 4 wickets, 2 in the first over and 2 in the remaining. But Melissa says, don't leave me out. I'll try and copy you as much as I do, with 2 maiden wickets as well, but only managing to concede 9 runs, a little bit higher than her partner. But I have to say that is one of the most incredible duos. And when they decided to bring in the slower ones, that's when Botswana finally actually got to put a few runs on the board. But I have to say, an economy of 0.5 by Amuge, that is amazing indeed. And that wraps up Uganda versus Botswana. Uganda winning the toss and winning the game after they elected to bat first. Winning the game by 143 runs. Like I said, it's a walk in the park. And now we're signing out as the teams are stretching. We will see you after lunch with Rwanda versus Malawi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the post-match presentation. This is day 3 of the International Cricket Council Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup Africa Qualifier here in Habarone. We all played to both teams. It was Botswana, the home team, up against Uganda. Unfortunately, like I say, cricket is like gambling. There can only be one winner. Uganda are turning out victorious. We'll play to you, Botswana. Let me start with Aisha. Please step up. Aisha, tough day in the office. These things happen. Take us through your game today as Botswana.
I would say this was the most challenging opposite team we've ever played in this tournament. And it's life, yes, we are disappointed, of course, but we fall and we rise. I guess the upcoming games, we as Botswana will rise.
Tell us how you've been pacing through this tournament. You set up with a victory against Sierra Leone, 1 wicket win. When you chase up on 98, reaching 100. Namibia, not able to win. Today, not able to win. Do you want to think that the game against Sierra Leone took a lot from you guys?
I would say for this month, it has been a really tough month for the girls. There was a lot of pressure upon them. They had to practice more than ever before. So well done, girls. They did just a lot. Their performance was also outstanding from the pressure they had.
I know you're the host team. Tell us what have you heard from the rest of the teams? How are they enjoying Habarone?
I can say the teams are enjoying, especially Uganda because they have won all their games. But thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. We've learned a lot. I guess the fielding was a bit tight, so we've learned a lot from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha.
Thank you,
Good luck to you in the next couple of campaigns.
Thank you, sir.
Team Uganda captain, Jimia, please come on. Jimia, you're the captain, you're the wicket keeper, and you're the opening batter. How is it tough on you as a role, first and foremost?
It's not tough on my side because it's always my role, and it's my duty as a captain to take my team home. As an opening batter, that's my role. I'm used to it.
Then take us through your game. What was your plan? You won the toss. You could have bowled first and got them out for 40 and taken a break. What was the tactics going on with the coaches?
It was our plan to bat fast because we wanted to knock them like something like 200, but then we didn't knock our target. But still, we put up a good score and they failed to chase. Then on the side of the fielding, as usual, shall keep on bowling well and get them out.
Well played to you and well played to Team Uganda. Enjoy 3 days of rest. To give out the man of match award is the local boy, Mr. Sanjay Bagava. Please step up. There were 3 contestants for the match award. There is a girl who bowled 4 overs, 2 runs, 2 maidens. She won't be taking the award. That girl is called Kevin Amuge. She misses out. The other contestant for the award is a lady who did score some runs and she kept wickets, taking up a catch or 2. That's the captain, Jimia Muhammad. He won't be taking the match award. But the player of the match is a lady who scored 12 fours and 3 sixes. She played out 55 balls. She scored 93 runs and she also bowled 2 overs for 8 runs. 4 overs for 8 runs, I beg your pardon. Proskovia Lako from the Baby Victoria Alako, please step up. Proskovia Lako, you coming into this tournament, since your first time in Botswana, you were here last year with the senior women's team. Take us through what you expected when you were coming here.
Well, I expected to score more runs because I'm used to the place. But it was, I think, anxiety. I did score runs in my first games. That's it.
Well, tell us about you struggling the first games, getting 1 run against Namibia, 0 against Leon, and then erupting today. What was the trick today that helped you to score runs? Because we also saw you not opening, and then today you've opened and scored runs.
Against Namibia, I think I was anxious. I was fearing, I was fast, I was scared, something. Then Sierra Leone, the same thing, I would think rushing for runs. I went for big shots before. Then today, I just had to rest and tell myself I can do this. I just had to believe in myself, and I told myself I can do it. That's what's fun.
As a senior player, how do you keep your fellow youngsters morale boosted in such a tournament, and with them in the semi-finals? What is going to be the plan for Uganda?
The plan for Uganda is to play in the World Cup, to beat the other teams, just like they've done in the semi-finals. I just want them to play well, just like they've done today. Ball on the point, and the batsmen will do their job, and the fielders also have to take the catches. I think that will take us to the finals.
And then one word for the fans back at home in Uganda watching you.
I would really love you guys. We're going to make you proud by bringing this trophy back to the country.
Thank you very much, Alako, and good luck. That is it from the match presentation. Thank you, Botswana. Thank you, Uganda.
Makati. Yeah. Hey, oh. Wait. Hey. Thank you. Ingira in the middle with captain.